Lovely face.
You there, lurking like a viper in the house, sucking me dry. I looked the other way, while twin destruction planned against the throne. Tell me, do you admit to doing this or deny you even knew?
I did the deed. If she agrees I did, I am an accessory and share the blame.
Justice would not allow this. You did not wish for a pardon, nor did I give you one.
You are in trouble, and I am not ashamed to sail beside you in the sufferings.
Don't die along with me, nor make your own which you did not do. My death is enough.
What life is there for me to live without you?
Not Priam! He's your kinsman and your care.
Why hurt me when it does yourself no good?
I also suffer when I laugh at you.
What further service can I do you now?
Go, save yourself. I should not envy you.
Alas for me! Am I outside your fate?
Yes, for you choose to live and I chose death.
At least I was not silent. You were warned.
Some will have thought you wiser, some will not.
And yet the blame is equal for us both.
Take heart, you live. My life died long ago, and that has made me fit to help with that.
One of these girls has shown her lack of sense just now. The other had it from her birth.
Yes, Lord. When people fall in deep distress, their native sense departs them not stead.
You chose your mind's distraction when you chose to work wickedness with this wicked girl.
What life is there for me to live without her?
Do not speak of her. She is here no more.
But will you kill your own son's promised bride?
There are other furrows for his plow.
But what about the closest that has bound these two?
Not for my sons will I choose wicked wives.
Poor Haman, your father robs you of your rights.
You and your marriage trouble me too much.
You will take away his bride from your own son?
Yes. Death will help me break this marriage off.
It seems determined that the girl must die.
You helped determine it. Now, no delay. They must be women now. No more free running. Even the bold will fly when they see death close enough to take their life.
Fortunate they whose lives have no taste in pain, and whose others' house has been shaken by the gods, escape no kind of doom. It extends to all the kin like a wave that comes, when the winds of Thrace run over the dark of the sea. And the black sand is brought from the depth, and the beaten capes sound back with a hollow cry.
Ancient the sorrows and life of this house, I know. Dead man's grief comes and falls on grief. No generation can free the next. So now, as remaining light goes out from the house of Oedipus, while the bloody knife cuts remaining root, folly and fury have done this.
What madness of man, O Zeus, can bind your power? On ancient time, monarch your little Olympus gleaming light. Near time, far from you and past, one law controls them all. Any greatness in human life brings doom.
Wandering hope brings help to many men, but others she tricks with their giddy loves. And her quarry knows nothing until he has walked into the flame. The word of wisdom it was when someone said, to him the good becomes the bad. The good becomes the good. To him a God would doom. Only briefly is that one from under doom.
Here's your one surviving son. Does he not come in grief at the fate of his bride, and pain that he's been tricked of his wedding?
Soon we shall know more than a seer could tell us. My son, tell me, have you heard the vote condemned your bride? And are you here maddened against me? Or are we friends, whatever I may do?
My father, I'm yours. You keep me straight with your good judgment, which I shall ever follow. Nor shall a marriage count for me than your kind pleading.
That's my good boy. So should you take it heart and stand behind your father all the way. It is for this men pray that they beget households of dutiful, obedient sons, who share alike in punishing enemies and give due honor to their father's friends. A man who has bred a child that will not help, What has he sown but trouble for himself, and for his enemies laughter full and free? My son, do not let your lust mislead your mind, all for a woman's sake. For well you know how cold the thing he takes into his arms, who has a wicked woman for his wife. Spit her forth forever as your foe. Let the girl marry somebody in Hades, since I have caught her in the open act, the only one in town who disobeyed. I shall not now proclaim myself a liar, but kill her. If I allow disobedience in my own house, I'd surely have to license it abroad. The man who deals in fairness with his own, he can make manifest justice in the state. But the man who crosses law, or forces it, or tries to bring the rulers under him, will never have a word of praise from me. The man the state has put in place must have hearing to his least command, when it is right, and even when it is not. He who follows these teachings I can trust, ruler or ruled, to function in his place, to stand his ground even in a storm of spears, a mate to trust in battle at one side. There is no greater wrong than disobedience. This ruins our city. This tears down our homes. This breaks the battlefront in panic rout. If men live decently, it is because discipline saves their very lives for them. So I must guard the men who yield to order, not let myself be beaten by a woman. Better, if it must happen, that a man should overset me. I won't be called weaker than womankind.
We think
Unless our age is cheating us.
that what you say is sensible and right.
Father, the gods have given men good sense. It's the only sure possession that we have. I couldn't find the words in which to claim that there was error in your late remarks, yet someone else might bring some further light. Because I am your son, I must take watch on all men's doings, their speech, and most of all their discontents. Your presence would frighten any common man from saying such things you would not care to hear. But, in dark corners, I've heard them say how the whole town is grieving for this girl, unjustly doomed if ever woman was, to die in shame for glorious action done. Should not leave her fallen, slaughtered brother there, as he lay, unburied, for the birds and hungry dogs to make an end of him? This is the undercover speech in town. Father, your welfare is my greatest good. What loveliness is there in life for any child that outweighs a father's fortune and good fame? But do not have one mind, and one alone, that only your opinion can be right. For whoever thinks that he alone is wise, his mind, his eloquence above the rest, comes the unfolding, shows his emptiness. A man, though wise, should never be ashamed of learning more, and must unbend his mind. Have you not seen the trees beside the torrent, the ones that bend to save every leaf, while the resistant perish root and branch? And the ship that will not slacken sail, sheet drawn tight, unyielding, overturns. She ends her voyage with the keel on top. Yield your wrath. Allow it change of stand. Young as I am, if I may give advice, I'd say it would be best if men were more perfect in wisdom, and that failing this, which often does fail, it can be no dishonor to learn from others when they speak good sense.
Lord, your son has spoken to the point. Then you should take his lesson.
You should do the same.
Both sides have spoken well.
At my age, I am to school my mind by his. This boy instructor is my master then?
I urge no wrong. I am young. We should watch my actions and not my years to judge of me.
A loyal action to respect disorder?
I wouldn't urge respect for wickedness.
And you don't think she is sick with that disease?
Your fellow citizens maintain she's not.
Is the town to tell me how I ought to rule?
Now there you speak just like a boy yourself.
Am I to rule by any other mind than mine?
No city is the property of a single man.
But custom gives possession to the ruler.
You rule the desert beautifully long.
It seems he's firmly on the woman's side.
Hey, you're a woman. It is you I care for.
Wicked! To try conclusions with your father.
When you conclude unjustly, so I must.
Am I unjust? When I respect my office.
You tread down the gods' due. Respect is gone.
Your mind is poisoned, weaker than a
At
woman.
least you'll never see me yield to shame.
Your whole long argument is but for her.
And you, and me, and for the gods below.
You shall not marry her while she's
And
alive.
she will die! Her death will cause another.
Your boldness has made progress. Threats indeed.
No threat to speak against your empty plan.
Past due. Sharp lessons for your empty brain.
If you weren't my father, I'd call you mad.
Don't flatter me with father, woman slave.
You wish to speak, but you never wish to hear.
You think so? By Olympus, you shall not revile me with these tauntings and go free. Bring out the hateful creature. She shall die full in his sight, close at her bridegroom's side.
Not at my side, her death. You will never lay eyes upon my face again. Go find other friends to rave with after this.
Lord, he is gone with the speed of rage, but such a man is grieved, his mind is hard.
Let him go and plan superhuman action. The girls will not escape.
You plan for both punishment of death?
Not for the one who did not do it. You are right.
And what death have you chosen for the other?
To take her where the foot of man goes not. There shall I hide her, in a hollowed out cave, with just so much food as clears the city of the guilt of death. There, if she prays to death, the only god of her respect, she may manage not to die. Or she may finally learn how much, too much, her labor for the dead.
Ανάγεται πάντες, ανάγεται βρυχώριαν, το Θεό πείτε, εθέλει γαρό Θεός όρθος.
Love unconquered, love who falls on our havings, you rest in the bloom of a girl's unwithered face. You cross the sea, you're known in the wildest layers, he who has you within him is mad.
You twist the minds of the just. Wrong they pursue and are ruined. You made this quarrel kindred before us now. Desire looks clear from the eyes of the lovely bride. Power as strong as the fountain of growth, for there is a goddess of him with whom no man can fight.
Now I'm carried beyond all bounds. My tears will not be checked, as I see Antigone about to depart to the chamber where all men